The 19th century is shown at start and a wealthy family is shown. A lovely lady lived in this wealthy family named Eugenie. She talks openly with her brother in the family and only he knows about her special abilities. She can even talk to the dead ones. And now she understands their anguish, and when they speaks to the dead, she breathes difficulty. The person in front considered her mad and was receiving the messages of dead ones as she was growing elder. She goes to put her grandmother to bed one day and asks if she went to her friend's funeral. She does not answer like the normal people and says yes. I went there. I got a chance to talk to many people. Actually, she was talking about the dead people here. Her grandma was also used to her behavior and she stayed worried because of her. Her grandma does not answer her. Eugenie goes to the market with her brother, as she was not allowed to go alone and she enjoys it a lot. She wanders in the streets and then goes to a cafe and sees a man there reading a book about spirits. This man introduces himself to Eugenie and talks to her for a long time. Then Eugenie tells him she is not interested in him or even in his talk. She was just watching the book, and when the boy discovers this, he gives the book to Eugenie for a night. Now Eugenie can read this book for a night. She brings the book at home and reads the book for the whole night. Reading the book, she understands her purpose and how she can communicate with the spirits, how she can help them. The siblings are shown to be with a wealthy family. Eugenie's father talked to her. Actually, her father does not like her. He doesn't love her because Eugenie was against her father's expectations. Her father does not like the girls who are humble and help the poor. Eugenie did not understand the definition of being rich, and he thought the poor girls are kind and humble. Those girls look like poor and don't look like rich girls. Likewise, their relationship was weak, and one day she was brushing her grandma's hair, and this was her daily routine. Suddenly, a dead soul tries to talk to her, and she immediately leaves the care of her grandma. She takes out the things from the drawer and finds a necklace. Her grandma becomes surprised to see the necklace because it was a gift given by her husband many years ago. Grandma felt it is stolen because she was not finding it. Eugenie's grandma asks who told you that the necklace is here. Eugenie's condition was worse and says grandfather talk to me now. And he told me where is the necklace. The next morning, Eugenie's mother comes to awake her and says, wake up Eugenie, your father is taking you to the store, and she becomes happy to hear this, as her father never took her to a store like this, even though he did not allow her to go to the market alone. She does not notice the behavior of her father and brother on the way, as their behavior was strange. She notices the things under the seat of her father in the vehicle in which they were taking her. She has understood something wrong will happen and asks her brother, where are you taking me? She sees outside the window and a lady was staring at her strangely. She gets scared and then she is shown dragged by two men. And she shouts while calling her brother and father. They were watching her silently. Eugenie was taken inside and her brother is shown. He was scared and vomiting. He was ashamed of bringing her sister to this place. What will they do with her? Now Eugenie is shown taken inside, and she was examined, but she was shouting that I am not mad. like her life's purpose was to prove that she is not mad. Later, Eugenie was taken into a room and there were many mad ladies. Some of them were like Eugenie, they were not mad but they were kept here after being tortured. There was another lady like Eugenie and she helps her to settle here. Then Eugenie's friend was called for the treatment. Some male doctor call her and she notices they were not treating her as a patient. They were treating her like an object and they hypnotize her. The doctor were treating her badly even she fell down. Even then, they don't took pity on her and there was not any doctor who take care of the patients. There was a nurse who take care of all patients. And her name was Genevieve. She was a head nurse and knows those doctors very well. But she cannot go against them and Eugenie does not tell anyone about her powers. She was scared as she know after it she will gone through the experiments. One day she tells Genevieve about her sister's message. Actually, Genevieve's sister who died contacts with Eugenie. The head nurse does not believe her but when Eugenie tells the secret between her and her sister, she gets shocked but does not say anything to Eugenie. She leaves and then there was Eugenie's final evolution the next day. And the doctors will ask a lot of questions to Eugenie. The doctor makes Eugenie agree through the question that she still talks to the spirit. She agrees. And the doctors say will keep her in the asylum for a while longer. Eugenie becomes furious and shouts at the doctors. But she commits a huge mistake while shouting here. The doctor confirms that she is a patient of hysteria when she shouts. The hysteria patient were kept in a box full of ice. And the patient was kept in the box for hours. Even the patient's body becomes wet and the patient did not feel pain. The patient recovers with this treatment but his condition gets worse. The doctor believes the ladies recover with this treatment. Eugenie was also given this treatment but she shouts in front of the doctors that I am not mad, please don't give me this treatment. None hears her. Then the head nurse Genevieve is shown. She was returning to her home. Then she notices someone was chasing her and noticed that was Eugenie's brother. He was worried about his sister and tells Genevieve that my sister has the power to talk to the spirit. He gives her Eugenie's book to prove this. He asks her to give this book to his sister and the head nurse takes the book. Now she was also interested in this matter. She serves the whole night for reading this book and becomes disturbed after reading the content of the book. Reading it, she feels Eugenie was saying right, that she talked to my sister. The scene of the asylum is shown, where Eugenie was released from the treatment. Eugenie's condition was worse as she came after laying on the ice for a long time. Even she could not sleep at night. And the head nurse Genevieve comes to her. She talks to her as she wants to talk to her dead sister. She says to Eugenie that she will help her if she wants to meet her brother. She also gives her the book her brother has given Genevieve for giving it to her. Eugenie says she just does not want to see her brother and wants to get out of there. Her goal is to move out from here. She wants freedom from here, but Genevieve says this is impossible. She says I will try to do what I can do. Eugenie tries a lot but could not contact to her sister. Meanwhile, Eugenie's condition is shown worse and she says your father is at risk. Genevieve runs to her house and finds a napkin at the table. It was soaked in blood and sees her father who was about to faint. She has rescued him on time, and the time passes like this in the asylum. After a month, Eugenie was placed on the ice on a daily basis, and she daily suffers this pain. They were not behaving well with the ladies who were there. One day, Eugenie notices the condition of a patient get worse because of overdose and the practices of the doctor. Eugenie becomes furious to see it and could not control herself. She says in anger, "You are responsible for the condition of those patients." Eugenie was sent for isolation because of shouting, and she was sent to a dark room. There was a window that was locked, but the nurse often opens it. Now she does not do this, and Eugenie was not allowed to see the light. She was a strict nurse and considered the patient toys. Eugenie talks to many spirits in this room, the spirits who lived here. They died while living here, and Eugenie gets scared from all this. She was calling the nurse again and again who brought her here. Nothing matters to this nurse, and Eugenie hears noise of the spirits. She can't even have food because of the noise. One day, the nurse comes to her room and scolds her, but Eugenie does not answer her. She remains to sit silent, and she eats the tasty food in front of Eugenie. Seeing it, Eugenie says, "I can see your mother," and says, "I talked to your mother and she died in this room." The nurse says, "Yes, you are right, I have ended my mother in this room." Then Eugenie takes out the topic of the kids of the nurse and says, "Your kids were ended by your mother." The nurse starts weeping while hearing this, and then she holds Eugenie's neck and forbids her to take her kid's name in front of her. Then the nurse leaves. As the nurse was leaving, a girl collides with her and takes the keys from her secretly, then gives the keys to the head nurse Genevieve. This was Genevieve's plan, that she will steal the keys from the nurse. She goes near Eugenie's door and talks to her. Eugenie tells everything about her sister to the head nurse. She gets shocked to hear all this and then thanks her for conveying the information about her sister. Now she promises to take out Eugenie from here. And the nurse says to the doctor that Eugenie is better now. She should be taken out from the isolation. The doctor suspects the head nurse, even then he allows to shift her to the common ward. Eugenie was taken out of the dark room, and she has come out of the dark room after many days. She sees air and light. She becomes happy and then sees her friend there, and she was now in a wheelchair because of the wrong experiments of the doctor. Now the day arrives of the ball when the patient will get a chance to wear new clothes. The patient enjoy that day, and they enjoy that day as they are normal. Eugenie's brother was also invited to this party. Eugenie's brother has arrived at the party but sees her brother and pretends she does not know him. They meet after a year, and they were pretending this because they will escape from here. The nurse who ended her mother sees them escaping and trying to hold them, but another lady holds the nurse. The lady became insane and was attacking the doctors there. The lady was teaching them the lesson that how they treated the patient. Genevieve is shown, who does not want to go out with Eugenie. She will still here to help the ladies who need her help. After it, the time after a few years is shown. Eugenie is shown living far from everyone. For the first time in her life, she was both satisfied and happy. Here this movie ends. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.